Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 8 of Direwolf20's Let's Play Series Season 9. I am chopping down the little tree farm that I accumulated for myself last episode. Not too shabby. Looking good. Nice. Gotta love the broad axe because it chops down trees in one fell swoop. And I love that personally. It's pretty much the greatest. Boom. Ah, that looks good. Nice. So today's episode, I might want to get started with a new mod that I've kind of been excited to play with. And I haven't quite yet had a chance to play with in a legit playthrough. So I'm a little bit interested in giving it a shot. It is a magic-based mod, and it's kind of new. I think it's been around for a couple versions now, but I've never personally played with it. I did do a spotlight on it, and that mod is Astral Sorcery. So I think we can get started with it today. I don't see why not. So I'm going to put away some of this cool stuff that we got, and maybe take a quick look at the Astral book. So here it is, the journal from Astral Sorcery. Nice. So you start out with this book. You're given it, in your world. If you want, it's craftable. You just have to find a luminous crafting table, which I can show you guys how that works. And you'll need to get some other items, but typically you're given this when you start your new world. And you're able to start off in the Discovery chapter. You'll unlock other chapters as you go through. Dun, 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 dun. And zooming in with your mouse wheel will open up the Discovery chapter. Nice. The main thing to know is that there's different sections in each chapter, and there's little lines with white, beams going from one section to another. That typically means the part of the book that the beam is going from is like the start of the chapter, and where it's going to is the next stage. So in this case, Ancient Shrines comes first, and after that you look into the Resonating Wand and Constellation Paper, right? And Ores comes first. And after Ancient Shrines and Ores, see how you're following the lines? Resonating Wand, right? So that's stuff to know about. And then there's also Marble and Sooty Marble and the Luminous Crafting Table. So a few things to take a look at today. Let's take a look at Ores first. So there's Rock Crystal, which we'll find in the deepest reaches of the world. We haven't found any yet, but they are pretty rare. Luckily, there's a good way to find them once we get started with the mod. So you might need to look for something that'll help you find this stuff. And then there's Aquamarine Shale, which we found pretty much in sand underwater. And we can definitely find some of that stuff. There's some right outside our base right now. This. A shovel is the proper tool to dig this up with. Ta-da! And we got ourselves a little bit of aquamarine. Nice, from Astral Sorcery. So we've got one of the two ores that we're going to need to get started with this mod. Let's maybe take a quick nap and get through the night. So the next piece of this mod, besides finding some rock crystals, is finding an ancient shrine. So indicated in the mod here is that scattered across the world there's ancient shrines that we're going to have to look for, and you'll find some crystals inside those. So let's see if we can go looking a little bit within the world to see if we can find an ancient shrine. Now, if we do look on Journey Map, we might notice we found a small version of the shrine. So that's this guy. So that is a smaller version of the shrine. That was where? This general direction? Where am I? Yeah, so pretty much due south of here. You can see the little... I'll come back when I get over there. So this is a small version of the shrine. There's definitely some larger ones that we're going to be looking for. This is not exactly what we're looking for. But hey, we got some prismarine, so that's nice. We also get some marble here, too. Might not be terrible to get our hands on. So I'm going to look around a little bit. Hopefully there's a decent-sized shrine in the general area. And if not, we will have to come up with something else. Well, this forest, which is a biome of boreal forest, it looks like, pretty dense. Now, Journey Map is definitely going to help me find one of these shrines. That would totally be nice. Because, especially in this forest, wow, it is dense. It might be a little bit tricky to find. But if you look on the map, you might find them a little bit easier. I'm going to look around, like I said, a little bit off camera here, and hopefully I find one relatively close to my base. We did just sleep through the night, so we should have a decent amount of daylight available to us, and I do have a decent amount of food, so I can kind of run around a little bit. And if I find a shrine, we'll come back, and like I said, if we don't find one near to our base, we will have to figure something out. Ooh, I think I got lucky and found one. It's not super close to my base, but it's not super far either. And it's good because it's on top of a hill. If you read the book, it actually indicates that you're more likely to find these temples on the tops of hills. So that is pretty cool. I think we just found one. Nice. That's good news. That's really good news. All right, let's get up there, and then we'll be back. Oh yeah, look at this place. Nice. Totally found what we were looking for. This big, cool temple. Beautiful. Loving it. All right, so what you do when you find this thing is you go underground. Let's do this and this. I'll just cover that up for a sec. Yeah. Nice. Check that out. A cool floating crystal. Beautiful. Now, you might also find some treasure chests in here with some good loots in them. And sometimes not so good loots. Ooh, but we did find something cool. Some constellation paper. Boom. We just found our very first constellation. You can add it. Once you get this constellation paper, shift right-click your journal, and you can place your constellation in there. And now you've got your constellation. We found one of, I think, about a dozen constellations. Neat. All right. So we should be good here. All right, so objective 1, which was find a temple, is good. I'm going to go ahead and mark a waypoint here. Astral Temple. We'll call it number. Well, I'll just call it Astral Temple for now. And it's saved. So now we've got a nice waypoint here. We can pop out of this nifty place. Now, at this point, we're pretty much going to want to go home and come back with a few resources. So the next thing we're going to want to get is a resonating wand and a luminous crafting table. Both of these things need to be crafted at this temple. So we're going to need to bring back some aquamarine and an ender pearl. And we're also going to need to get ourselves some marble, which should be not too bad to get. Cool. And then we're also going to need some other marble, some crafting table, and some sooty marble, which just needs marble and coal, so that's easy enough as well. So let's run back to our base, which I should probably waypoint as well. Whee! Also, it's getting dark out, so that's definitely not good. Where is my... There we go. You. Waypoint? Well, alright. We'll just head back. It's basically in where am I? Center on me. Okay, so it is basically due south of where I am. That's about where I found this temple. So we're going to want to go in this general direction. And it is also nighttime, which is not an ideal time. So I might hunker down in a cave. And we'll be back in a minute. Alright, I holed up in a little cave just to survive the night. Luckily, it's morning. I think it's safe enough to go outside the base, right? Yeah, should be fine. Probably should have gotten, like, some armor. I don't know. I feel like that would have been smart. Gotcha, creeper. Nice. One other thing that you might want to do is collect some of this marble when and if you find any. Because it's good to have. Also, like I said, sometimes you'll find some treasure chests inside these little temples that can occasionally have some good loots in them. Loots specific. Oh, there we go. See? Told you. Told you. To Astral Sorcery. So you might find more aquamarines, and you might find more constellation paper. Constellation paper is kind of like, I don't want to call it like a research mechanic, because it's not, but like there's about a dozen pieces of constellation that you can find throughout the world. You'll find them in treasure chests, and you'll find them inside these things. They're not too hard to come by. The other benefit of constellation paper, I don't know if you noticed on the tooltip, but it tells you that there's no constellation on it until you place it in your inventory. Basically, you will never find more than one type of constellation from the paper. Like, you won't get another Evorsio, or you won't get another Avitus from going through these constellation papers, which is neat. It basically means there's, like, no having to keep looking because you found one that you already had, kind of thing. Every time you find a constellation paper, it'll be new, and that will be cool. Nice. So I'm just gonna snag all this stuff because it'll be nice to have. Good deal. So yeah, grab that constellation paper when you can. If you ever pick up a piece of constellation paper and it says it's blank, and it's still blank after it goes into your inventory, that basically tells you that you found all the constellations that are available in Astral Sorcery. And if you're playing on a server, it means next time you find a constellation paper, just leave it alone so that somebody else can find it. If you're playing in a single-player world, it just means you don't have to pick up any more constellation paper. Good deal, huh? All right, maybe I'll chop down a few trees along the way to help with this. Just because it's, like, such a dense forest. Back in a few when we get back to my base. Ah, home sweet home. I thought I heard an Enderman. Right underneath my base. Lurking around. Causing trouble already, aren't you, Enderman? Gotcha. Didn't get an ender pearl. Bummer. Only need ender pearls. We have a few. I could use some more. I think I've got 2 at the moment. I just grabbed one out of my chest before I saw him on the minimap, and I went looking for him. Cool. All right. So need the ender pearl for the tool that we want to get. So let's. I also found some ores down there, which I'll go ahead and process. Nice. Cool. Oh, you know what else I needed? Some food. Would be nice to have. We've got some apples. We've got some raw beef, too. Might not be a terrible food option. I have to sort out my food situation a little bit better than I have already. Beautiful. So yeah, let's not forget to put a marker here. Waypoint. New. We'll call this our home. Nice. I don't think there's any good mods that we have access to yet that gives us, like, teleportation abilities. Like, there's portal guns, but both of those usually require another star. So we're not quite at that stage yet. There's also matter receivers. Those might not be too bad. They do require a decent amount of ender pearls, though. Yeah. So we'll have to figure out a better way to get to and from that location. For now, though, it should be fine. Sun's going down, so I'm going to sleep through the night, and then I'm going to go bring what I need to get crafting over there. So let's get some of that city coal stuff or whatever we need. So we need 1 coal, and I throw all my marble in here. Now I'm hoping that marble from in the world, so chisel marble is ore dictionaried with, I hope. Looks good to me. I guess that means it's ore dictionary, right? So if we want marble bricks, does it have to be in a luminous crafting table that we craft that? No. All right, Astral Sorcery. Nice. Cool. And if we want marble pillars, how about this marble? All right, so that marble, okay, interesting. Okay, how about chiseled marble? Maybe in an astral table, but we'll see. We can also apparently chisel it, so that's cool. So we can chisel this Astral Sorcery marble directly. Neat. Okay, good to know. Nice. So in order to get what we want to get from that crafting table there, so we're going to want to get a resonating wand, which is going to require marble pillars. And we're also going to need some marble around a crafting table, and a piece of that city marble. So that should be enough. So let's run back to the astral area that we just found, the nice little temple. And then we will come back once we get there. Deal? So I will see you guys in a minute once I reach 500 meters away. That's not too bad. Okay, made it to our temple. So let's go ahead and check out how to get started with some basic crafting in this mod. So the first thing we're going to want to do is place a crafting table right near this crystal. Boom. And you'll know that it's working because it gets this nifty little beam of energy. So the power of the magic inside that crystal, which is generated from Starlight, is helping to augment the crafting table now, and now we can do some cool crafting recipes. So we should be able to do something like that and make ourselves a resonating wand. Nice. Dun dun dun! Hooray! The other thing that we're going to want to get is the crafting table from the mod. So we're going to want this, that, and so basically you, and any 6 marble? Yay! Luminous crafting table. Cool. In crafting that, we just expanded our knowledge, and we've moved on from discovery to exploration. Nice. And that's unlocked a bunch of cool stuff for us, which is awesome. It gives us access to the light well, which is going to need a rock crystal. And we haven't found rock crystals yet in the world, but our wand that we just made is totally going to help us find light crystals. Now, I'm not 100% sure if light wells require... it says it needs a luminous crafting table. I don't know if it needs luminous crafting table, but we will find out. I'd really like it if there was an easy way for me to get to and from this location, but I don't have a good way to do that just yet. Wow, look at all these cows. Holy cow, that's a lot of cows. I want some beef. No actual cows were harmed in the making of this video. Alright, so I'm going to go back home. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have access to like a good way to get to and from this location just yet. But assuredly, we will eventually have an easy way to get back and forth. For now, I'm going to run again. I might want to get something that helps me run a little bit faster. So I'm thinking I should be able to use this luminous crafting table for most of the crafting recipes that we're going to need. I don't think I'm going to need to come back to that temple for a little bit. We will need to come back eventually, but we won't have to come back for a while, hopefully. And hopefully there's a good location near my actual base. Wow, there are a lot of cows around here. Not that I'm complaining. There will hopefully be a good location near my base that has a bunch of Starlight energy, which is what we're going to need to do some of this luminous crafting. And if there is a location near my base, we'll be able to find it with this resonating wand. Cool. So I will meet you guys back there in a few minutes. Home sweet home once again. Now, a lot of the stuff that you need to do in Astral Sorcery, because it's a mod based on the magic of Starlight, technically needs you to be doing this work at nighttime. So we're not going to be able to do a lot during the day with this mod. So during the day, we'll probably work on a few other things. And I can probably go into my waypoints and turn these two off at the moment, which means they won't render in world. And that would be nice. Cool, cool. All right, I'm going to put away all this stuff that I don't necessarily need right now. You can go away. Wow, I got a decent amount of beef. Not complaining at all about that. I like it. Eggs can go away. These gems. And we're going to want to set up this luminous crafting table in a good location. So location matters with this thing, which we'll find out once it gets a little bit darker. Cool. You know what else I should do while I'm here? Just because I remembered to. I should chunk load my base. So to do that, I'm just going to open up FTB utilities here. Left click on the chunks in the area to claim them. And then shift left click to chunk load them. There we go. And you can see at the bottom, claimed chunks 6 out of 100, loaded chunks 6 out of 50. So now all the areas in this location are chunk loaded, which basically means if I leave the area, then I will... The machines in this area will continue to run. Cool. Alright, is it almost dark out yet? It's getting there. Cool. Back in a minute when it's fully dark out. Alright, it's getting to be nighttime. Cool. So one of the next things we're going to need to access is... we're going to want to find rock crystals. And they're found underground, but they're tricky to find. There's a bunch of different properties to them, but first you got to find them. They're usually found right around bedrock. The best way to find them is to hold this resonating wand in your hand. And what will happen is you'll start to see some particle effects showing up nearby. That's a good indication that there are some rock crystals down under the location that's glowing that are probably right around here-ish. Nice. So let's go a digging. I'm just going to dig straight down because you're never supposed to do that. And I am a rebel. So I will meet you guys when we get close to bedrock here. It shouldn't be too far. But on the way down, I'm totally stopping to collect copper, because that's something I'm, like, really low on right now. Cool. Ooh, more copper. Nice. We'll get there soon enough. Alright, so I totally hear lava. Which is making me be a little bit cautious, because I hear the telltale lava sound. Hear it? It's very subtle. But we're almost to bedrock. Hey, look, I found it. There is my rock crystal that I was looking for. That's it. Alright, so here's the deal with rock crystals. You ready? When you mine them, you're going to get a bunch of glowy crystals that pop out. Yay! Rock crystals are cool, but there are there's a bunch of different attributes to rock crystals that you're going to want to know about. So I've gotten a few for now. That should probably be good enough. We'll grab this iron too, because you can never have enough iron. So we got different attributes. So this is size 106, purity 78, cutting 30. And they all have different attributes that we can adjust throughout the mod. So as we play more with this mod, we'll be able to adjust those attributes and change them a bit. For now, I'm just going to climb out of this hole and dirt pillar up. So we'll be back in a minute. So I feel like throwing these in here is probably kind of a bad idea. It's not the worst idea. They would go in there, but they don't fit so well. So let's maybe put them in their own separate chest for now. And then as needed, we can kind of expand it. Now, sometimes I'd have like an Astral Sorcery dedicated room, but I don't think we're going to do that with that mod because Astral Sorcery has a lot of large multi-block structures that do best when they can see the sky. So we'll probably build those, outside the base somewhere once we get around to the point where we can do that. All right, so we've got a luminous crafting table. If we place it in the world, especially at night, right now we just kind of place it wherever, and we'll get a little bit of starlight. Wow, that is a really small amount. You'll get more starlight if you place it higher in the world, so the higher you place it, the more starlight you'll get. Also, different locations in the world will have better starlight access. So that's actually not a terrible amount for not being able to really, tech starlight all that well. So we'll see if that works out for us. One of the first things we're going to want to make is a light well. And we'll need a rock crystal. We'll need 3 runed marble, 2 chiseled marble, and 2 aquamarines. So that doesn't sound terrible. So let's see if we've gotten... I don't know if we've collected any runed marble yet, but I'm sure we can get some. So a light well. Runed marble is marble, chiseled marble, and marble. Okay, marble, chiseled marble. And we also need other... Okay, so that should be good. That should be good. And then we'll also need some aquamarines and a rock crystal. And that'll get us a light well. And remember, much of this has to be done at night because Astral Sorcery is all kinds of magic based on stars. So, let's try this and this. Now, in order to craft this, we right-click with the resonating wand. Ta-da! And the crafting recipe is complete. Nice. So then you guys, the chiseled and the aquamarines and the rock crystal should come together. Boom. Nice. We had enough astral power there to craft a light well. So that's good. Neat. Now the light well can basically go somewhere in the world. I'll place it right here for now. And if you place an aquamarine in it, it'll start, the aquamarine will collect some magical energy from the constellations and the stars, and that will accumulate in the light well as a form of liquid that can eventually be picked up with a bucket. It's not the fastest process in the world, but it'll work. Nice. So we'll let that cook, and while that's cooking, let's look at something else that we might want to get, like a skywave resonator. This is a nifty gadget. We're going to need a bucket of liquid starlight. So basically, once we, get a bucket worth of liquid starlight, we can use that to get this starwave resonator. And what it's going to do is it's going to identify locations in the world where starlight power is heavily focused. And that's where we're going to actually want to place our luminous crafting table, and that'll give us more luminous power that we can then use for more powerful crafting. Cool. And while we're at it, if we wanted to, we could kind of look at, a couple other pieces of information. So eventually we might need a spectral relay, which will help out with some stuff. Rock crystal properties gives you some more information about the rock crystals themselves and how to manipulate them a bit. One of the ways to manipulate them is with a grindstone. You can throw a rock crystal on a grindstone, and it'll go ahead and grind it and adjust the cutting attribute. But it'll also lower the size attribute. And if you keep grinding it, the size attribute would completely diminish, and that would be bad. So we don't want to do that too much. But I think the next thing we're really working towards, so we can get a grindstone if we want. There's a hand telescope, which is nice to have, but I don't think we'll probably want to mess with that too much yet. Really, the thing that we're aiming for next. Ooh, what was that noise? Sounds like a witch. How's this doing, by the way? Oh, my aquamarine broke. So aquamarines do eventually break while they're collecting starlight, so we will need to, get more and throw it on there. So that was that noise. I don't know how much starlight collects in this tank. If it's one bucket's worth or multiple buckets in a tank, we'll find out. But the next thing we're going to probably be focused towards working on is getting to the next chapter, which is done by making the next crafting altar, which requires a bucket of starlight. It's going to require a bit more marble, but it's also a multi-block structure, so we're going to need a bunch of marble for this. But before we make this thing, we want to make it in a location that has a high concentration of starlight energy. So the first thing we really want to do is build the skywave resonator so we can figure out where one of those locations are, and then we will go from there. Cool? So I don't know how much liquid is in there just yet. Let's go get a bucket. I don't think I have one on me. There we go. What I should do... because I always forget to close the door behind me. That'll just make my life a little easier. I don't have a bucket's worth yet, so we'll have to just wait a little bit. And it might not collect during the day as much, so we might need to wait till the next night in order for this to actually start, doing better. Nice. So one thing, while I'm waiting for the daytime to pass, that we're probably going to want might be some more ender pearls. And there's a couple ways we could go about getting those. But one way I think I can do it would be with this ender lily that I found out in the world, which is exciting that I found that because that's going to be cool. So let's take a look at what we can do with that. So one way to grow these is planting them on dirt, and that is the bad way. It will take 1,000,000 years for this to grow if you plant it on dirt. What you want to do is plant this on end stone. We can actually make end stone without going to the end. We can make it with a fluid transposer. You can just infuse 250 millibuckets of resonant ender, which is 1 ender pearl, into a piece of sandstone, and you'll get a piece of end stone. That's cool. So all we'll need is a fluid transposer and a magma crucible, and we should be good to go. Now, we do already have a magma crucible downstairs, but I'm going to make another one simply because that one's kind of dedicated right now to doing something else for me. So I'd like to have one upstairs that I can, kind of work with on a regular basis. So let's get some resources here to make sure that we're ready to roll. And let's see if we can make ourselves a magma crucible. Cool. And hopefully by the time we've got this done, it will be nighttime and we should be good to go. So Magma Crucible, let's get to work. And Fluid Transposer, of course. So I'm going to want one of you. Oh, I forgot some Electrum. Do I have another piece of Electrum, or do I have to make some? I have one. Good enough for me. Cool. So Magma Crucible, check. I'm probably going to want 2 of these tin gears. Check and check. Oh yeah, and glass, which should be in my blocks chest. Cool. 1, 2 Invar gears probably. Oh, I'm missing a little bit of Invar. Let's get 2 iron and a nickel is pretty much what we want. So let's do. We'll do 4 and 2. Cool. You've cooked up my nether brick that I need. Good. There's my Invar. Redstone reception coil. Just put that away for now. And we should be good with that. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. We'll get that other piece of Invar. And now we want a Fluid Transposer, which will also just kind of be a nice thing to have. So we're going to need another redstone reception coil, and we're going to need 2 more Invar gears, which means at least another set of Invar. So let's put this away. We'll just turn all our nickel into Invar. I think I've got more over here anyway. See, we've got a bunch of resources I went mining and auto-processed. So we've got plenty of, metals and such. Let me just get this 3. And that should be our other Invar gear, followed by our Fluid Transposer. Nice. Okay. So now we just need some leadstone, energy conduits, which I've been kind of putting in this chest. This has kind of been my modded items chest, right? And then the ender pearl. And then we'll want 4 pieces of sand into sandstone. Cool. And we'll hook this guy up over here. So this will be Magma Crucible and Fluid Transposer. I'm going to configure him so he outputs to the right, and you will accept from the left. So I throw an ender pearl in there. It's going to melt down into liquid ender at a rate of 50 RF per tick, by the way, is what it uses. And then we throw our sandstone in here, and the liquid ender will transfer directly from the Magma Crucible on the right side into the Fluid Transposer, and then it'll infuse. We'll get our piece of endstone, and we can plant our ender lily. Cool. So there it goes. Resonant ender, cooking up, endstone incoming. This will be a nice way to get some ender lilies. We'll probably want a larger farm than just 1, but we'll get to that eventually. Cool. So for now, I'm going to kind of just plant these guys over here-ish. Let's put him, for now, right here should be fine. And there you go. We've got our ender lily. Nice. FYI, I wonder if I could... I know it says shovel. I totally feel like the luck that's on my pickaxe, even though it says shovel, worked on that. Because we got a lot of aquamarines from that thing. I don't know how many I got, but it felt like a lot. So pretty much in water, you're going to find aquamarines. Anywhere there's water and sand. Neat. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's getting to be about nighttime. I don't know if the collector up here will continue to collect, when it's daytime or not. It might just continue to collect, but slowly. And it doesn't look like it's all that much more. So let's wait for nighttime to hit, and then we'll come back. I'd like to make that one last item before we wrap up the episode. All right, so... Ooh, we have a bucket's worth. So it looks like that thing holds about 2 buckets worth of Starlight liquid. Nice. So we're collecting Starlight liquid. We are going to next dig into the journal here and get the Starwave resonator. So that's going to need aquamarine, 2 marble, and a piece of gold. So I've got most of what I need, minus the gold. So let's put this away. Get 2 normal marble. Well, I've got plenty of marble, actually. Let's get a stack of cobble, because that's usually what I have on me? And a piece of gold. So the Starwave Resonator is going to help us find areas where Starlight accumulates. And it'll be a good place to place our table here. So, there it is, Skywave Resonator. Cool. So we want our bucket, this, and that. Nice. Looks like we have a valid craft going on here. So there's two ways to really increase the power inside that crafting table. One would be to make sure to place the crafting table in a place where Starlight is accumulating, and two would be to make sure to place it in a place that is up high in the sky. So the higher Y levels basically in the world is basically where you're going to find stuff. So that was from my wand over there. So let's see if we can find an area that has some good Starlight. And of course, we have to do this at night, so there's bad guys around. All right, so just hold this in your hand and look around, and hopefully we'll find a good spot. And wherever we find this good spot is where we're going to want to create our actual... Ooh, hello, Enderman. Nice, we got an Ender Pearl for that. I see you, skeleton, don't worry. I'll kill you too. Alright, how about I look around real quick, because nothing's jumping out at me, but it's sometimes a little bit hard to see, especially from the ground. So a good little trick here would be to pillar up a little bit and look from higher up. So let's see if there's anything that jumps out at us from this high distance. Nothing's screaming out at me yet. Oh! Spiders, please. Alright, back in a minute. Hold on, look, I found one. This is it. That's what I'm looking for. There's one right outside my base, which is actually really lucky on my part. Hold on, let's get away from all these monsters that are trying to kill me. But there's one right there. I just happened to catch it as I was running for my life. Okay, let's wait for the next nighttime, and we'll come back in a minute. Alright, so, it's nighttime again. And of course it's raining, so that's ideal. Not really. I don't know if rain affects the astral stuff. But let's see. So if we hold this guy in our hand... Oh yeah, definitely in a pretty good Starlight field, actually. This looks like a really good Starlight field, to be honest with you. So I'm going to try it like right around here. We're going to pop down our table. Look how much power that. The table's super powered up. Awesome. So this is a perfect place to set up some of our astral stuff. And it actually works out really well, because it's close enough to our base that we're not, like, you know, really running a long way away. And we can build some nice looking stuff over here to help out with the whole Starlight bit. So we found a good location for our Astral Sorcery location. That is awesome, right? Hugely perfect spot. Having white sparkles is really good, and there's a lot of white sparkles there. So sometimes you'll find just like a bluish orb with no white sparkles, or like one or two white sparkles. This is like a really lucky and good location. So, and as you can see, this table is fully charged. Now, the next task is to upgrade the table, which needs another bucket of liquid Starlight, but we're going to have to come back next episode for that. So for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the introductory to Astral Sorcery. We will come back next time if we have a bucket's worth of this. I'm almost certain that it doesn't matter. I don't think you need to put the light well in the field. I don't think that makes a difference. But I might as well move it over there. And we'll probably want to move this anyway, but eventually. But for now, I'm just going to pop him like right about here. And we'll let that start accumulating more Starlight. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. But we'll see, I guess. I'm pretty sure that doesn't make a difference. Like, almost positive. But like I said, wrapping up point, level 20 signing off. Take it easy.